Chapter 21, Dreamworld. Yugi and friends search the temple and rush towards the secret room. Yes, there is conveniently a secret room that hasn't been explained to us. This is where the nightmare began. What will Yugi and his friends find here? Red 2 standing by, all 4 lit and in the green, and at long last, we can equip machine monsters with power-ups. Hallelujah! I bought lots of shock shells, because this is just an amazing item. So we'll add extra power there. We'll add extra power there. Esperoba's crappy team. Not so crappy now. Now, we're not going to have any more enemies coming at us. So there we are, that'll go nicely. Esperoba can be fairly useful. Who else has got... Nobody else has got machines. But that's okay, because we will get some more machines later on. Taya has done very well. Taya needs a bit of a break. Fizdus probably isn't going to help. Esperoba will help. I think we need to bring our strongest team. And that means, believe it or not, Tristan. You know what? I'll just take everybody who actually winds up coming from the real world. Fizdus and Shimon are part of the game. So, we've got our team lined up and ready to go. We are going to find something very surprising. Yugi's team didn't battle, but we should be able to use Dark Burning Magic because of the fact we have Triangle Ecstasy Spark available to Mai's monsters. We just need the right monsters on the team. We are so close to the end. Let's get going and raise the curtain on what will be the grand finale over the next 2 chapters.
Amazing! It's like something right out of a sci-fi film. You don't know when to give up. You could have lived here knowing that you had beaten me and destroyed the Empire. Is it a hologram? Enough, Scott! Set us free! You should be thanking me for trapping you in one of those games you like so much. What more could you want? This is the Kingdom Control Block, the heart of this entire world. You are all standing on a circuit that's just above the heart of the computer. They're much like nerves in the human body. They both carry electronic signals. The human brain is a collection of electronic signals. You're now closer to that than anyone has ever been. Oh, never mind, I'm only wasting my breath. You're all just bugs in the system now. By that, I mean that the system considers you to be errors that need to be eliminated. Everything you've done up until now has been within the scope of the character you were assigned to play. But now you've gone too far. In just moments, the system defenses will activate and destroy you. My plan is close to completion and I don't have time to waste dealing with you. We will never meet again, so I'll take this opportunity to say farewell. Bye-bye. Stop! He's gone. He's got to be in here somewhere. Start looking everywhere. So, in our memory world, whatever it is, we have to navigate to different bases. We have 6 opponents. So, well, quite a few opponents along the way. Now, 1, 3, 6, 8. So there are 2 opponents up there, both with machine teams. If I send someone
down here. Where are we going? So, Taya, please lead off to storage device. No enemies come actually at us. Which enemy? Okay, Red Eyes and Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. I think I'll send Esperoba out that way. Then I'll make my plans from here. We basically have just a lot of moving around, which is a bit of a nuisance. If we defeat all these enemies, we will be able to get to the final chapter. Who's up there? That should probably be... Let's send Mako up that way. Or should I send Bakura? No, Bakura? Head out this way and be accompanied by Joey. Because they can loop around to whatever that base is. Memory Bridge. We have to liberate Memory Bridge. Because we will actually get a new monster there. We'll get onto that in due course, though. So, let's get Shinzo moving out of the way. Movement in this level can be a little bit fiddly. It is actually very hard to get direct paths going, unless, of course, you actually are going in a straight line. And sometimes you can get monsters stuck on walls, which is incredibly bothersome. Especially if they have larger circles. So we should be coming up to our first battle. Perfect timing. The computer shown here is the dual computer against which Kaiba battled when he was testing out the power of Obelisk the Tormentor. Alright, Ryukushin powered, and you will note that we get little arena screens. We have real-time footage of our battles being played out in what would essentially be what they call a Droste image on those screens. That's actually a pretty impressive detail as far as I'm concerned. So we'll start off with our typical tactic. I do honestly love the attention to detail you get. Things like the flickering backgrounds along the way. One of them wasn't blinded. Oh well. We'll finish that one off in a couple of shots. It's just so creative. Even if the story isn't necessarily fantastic in ways, it does start off with a very cliched story and then move on from there. I do like the overall design of the story. I do think it plays out pretty well, and it's got some amazing depth of content, let's be honest. There is so much to do, so many monsters to train, and we'll get the challenge mode soon too, but I'll probably show that off on my main file. Oh yeah, they're guarded, and we can just blast our way through it. Once it attacks... Now, have we... No! There you go. It's a little unusual. Let's start attacking Giant Mech Soldier. Might as well do maximum damage to that. No, they've all missed so far. Apart from the first one, because that we actually got to attack before we blinded them. There has been that running gag of Dark Witch managing to get itself hit once a battle, so we'll see what happens. Couple more attacks ought to knock it down. Going after Gaikateno Megami. Wrong target. If you want to hit someone, go for Dark Witch. Has such rotten luck. And lucky last. Should finish it off anyway. Or not. Oh well, no big deal. First part of the system liberated. Alright, so let's continue on with our computer hacking. I'll probably have to speed a few things up along the way, but those are good levels for Taya's team. I'll continue to put some more levels into them, but they'll stand her in good stead for the future. Storage device was liberated. So, let's... Oh, by the way, if you like, you can rotate the camera to have a better view of some of the paths running horizontally. Now, if I move down, I do need to readjust some paths down here. Now, Mako's destination. It does have 2 adversaries, so... I'd better send... Tristan, you want to start coming up this way? Whoop. There's a little bit of management. I'm not very good at computer programming, but anyway, once I've got everything planned out and all my movement is appropriately adjusted, we'll move to the next one. Alpha the Magnet Warrior's international and Japanese debuts are, surprisingly enough, the same as those of Beta the Magnet Warrior. You might not think this is the case, but yes, it actually is. Alpha has the lowest attack of the original Magnet Warriors, but the middle value in defense. So this means that it's not fantastic stat-wise, but it's reasonably serviceable. Certainly there have been some 5-star monsters we've seen in this lot that are absolutely terrible too. The best tactic with this is basically the same as using Beta and Gamma. Use the many support cards which have been released over time to help bring out Valkyrion or other powerful cards in the broader magnet/electromagnet archetypes. Notably, the 3 share the same flavor text, which makes sense but is also lazy. Alrighty, Esperoba is up, and for the first time we can see the shock shell in action. It's been way too long. But finally we will have it. Red Eye's Black Metal Dragon is, unsurprisingly, our biggest threat. So of course the fact that it can only attack is both boon and bane, because it gets to throw a lot of attacks at us. But on the bright side, it can't guard. If it had items, it can't use those. So, right in the face, and it's gone into negative mode. It's confused. So, the fact our enemy is confused means, as I said, it can only attack. And we'll be able to chip away at our adversaries. Slowly but surely. This is part of the reason why Jinzo is pretty useless in all fairness. Jinzo can't do anything serious with its special attack because Shock Shell makes it so much better. Shock Shell does what it needs to, because you still only attack one target. Only one target becomes confused, but you deal damage to that one target as well. Whereas it's... I can't remember what it's... I think its special technique is actually called Cyber Energy Shock, which is Jinzo's standard attack in the anime. There is a card called Psychic Shockwave that allows you to summon a level 6 Dark Machine to the field when a trap card is activated. It is designed to help you summon Jinzo, but it could, for example, wind up bringing out things like Blowback Dragon. It could help you bring out things if you were feeling really stupid, like Pendulum Machine or Time Eater. There are plenty of options, in all fairness. But we're not going to win the first time. But we'll at least get some oomph Always have to have the last word, don't you? And you missed. It's like you're about to die and you just wind up coming up with a really lame one-liner. You don't get to sound cool as you go, buddy. Sorry about that. Well, we'll have this one run and done in no time. I can probably speed things up a bit after this, fit in any profiles I didn't get to fit in right now. Mind you, that does kind of look cool as a luminous green dragon. There we are, got the points. I'd be willing to bet Labyrinth Tank is probably a bit stronger than those two chumps. Oh, it's getting close. Jinzo's a bit stronger. Anyway, we're going to wind up running into a few adversaries towards the end that have popped up in... what's its defense? We're going to wind up running into a few adversaries that have popped up in previous Yu-Gi-Oh games. The various janky Yu-Gi-Oh games released around this time had all sorts of unusual antagonists. As I've mentioned, some of the enemies which appear in the Imperial Army were actually in Forbidden Memories. Heishin himself was in Duelists of the Roses, as well as Forbidden Memories. And of course we've had appearances from various main characters from the anime and a few minor characters along the way. The early days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Were admittedly really... Wow, Labyrinth Tank gets ignored. The early days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Were really, really janky. There were all sorts of strange things, like it's kind of unusual that this game doesn't actually use the attribute system that was in place at the time. It was kind of like an elemental rock, paper, scissors, where you could automatically wind up defeating an opponent if you had an attribute that was advantageous against theirs, no matter what your own stats were. I'll put the loops up on screen. Now, Battery Connect has been liberated. Where am I going? It's very samey in here. It's very, very similar. Now, let's stick to getting progress made. Number 34, Terabyte, made its debut in Generation Force and has had a small handful of appearances since. It's been a bit more prominent in Japan, where there's a major set focused around the numbers. Resembling some manner of creature which transforms from a USB flash drive, Number 34 plays into a theme of computer viruses, along with the crash bugs and a few other cards released in Generation Force. This one can be a little tough to summon, as it was the first rank 3 Xyz monster needing 3 materials to be summoned. However, the crash bugs are designed to support this, or any rank 3 Xyz which needs generic materials. Number 34 is a handy defender which can hack level 4 or lower opposing monsters and switch their control to use as you see fit. And first battle up is Mako. So, our enemies are, appropriately enough, Machine King and 2 Cyber Soldiers, which are stated to serve the Machine King. Now, Machine King Command Force gives all team monsters a power-up. We probably want to try and nobble Machine King. It will move very, very slowly, but we'll be able to chip away at it. We've got some fairly strong adversaries along the way, but with intelligent teamwork, we'll be able to get it done. As always. Flamethrower, that really should be not very effective, but there you go. So yeah, as I was saying, that wasn't a super threatening critical. We've got a lot of characters that do appear in those previous games. We're actually going to see a couple more of them pop up in Kaiba's story. So that'll be a bit of fun here and there. Well, ideally, anyway. I do hope this has been pretty fun. Because it's definitely interesting. It's a little unusual. It does kind of stick in with the general strangeness of early Yu-Gi-Oh! As I said, there was that weird and janky attribute system, but this doesn't have it for some reason. The attributes or signs sort of defined how things worked for a lot of the early games. It can even pop up, I think, in sacred cards and games like that. It can get very confusing at times. It's not the most intuitive system because you have to remember two different structures. It was because of those systems that Meteor Black Dragon was considered one of the best cards to have in Forbidden Memories. I probably will need to heal Octoburster at some point. We are going for Roast Squidman. There we are, everybody's favourite hero, Squidleg Man. The best hero you've never heard of. Which... I don't know, that probably isn't the best indicator of how good someone is because there are probably lots of heroes we haven't heard of. I'm not sure where I'm going with that. But wow. Copped a couple of criticals. And we're still leading on points. Not doing too badly. Now, some machine monsters will actually get armor as abilities later on. This will allow them to take less damage from attacks. It can make them a bit tougher to take down. They're probably some of the handier monsters in the game, even though they wind up taking a very long time to actually get their necessary power up. It took until chapter 20 for me to find Shock Shell, which was a pain in the butt. But all that said, we did wind up getting what we came for. We have... good critical. That's probably going to turn the fight in my favour, because Octoburster can nobble it now. There's only one more flamethrower to go, and our water attacks are proving very effective. Although in fairness, the only spear-based attack in Pokemon was Icicle Spear. There might be something else. Now, let's hit it. Oh, and Octoburster takes no prisoners! Well done, Mako! This team has actually been pretty solid. Oh, hang on. We're stuck. I'd better actually retreat. Alright, book it! Run in the direction of away! Rightio, now I really, really want Tristan to wind up taking this fight. Ah, damn it! It's a traffic jam! Oh, this stinks. Hold on. Yeah, the more AP you have, the better your chances of running away. So, we'll get Tristan to wrap up the next fight, which is against two Cybersaurus and a Jinzo. They shouldn't be too much of a threat. This is... Oh. Hold on a moment. Great, these idiots have caused a traffic jam. Fantastic! Alright, now... I have to get Panther Warrior moving down here too, but I can get Mako out of the way. It's like the world's worst race. Now, let's go back over here. Let's get some profiles going. Oh dear. The narrow corridors in this level really do suck. At least these two shouldn't get stuck on each other. Cyber Soldier of Dark World made its international debut and only appearance in Tournament Pack 1. In Japan it debuted in Booster 3, reappearing in 2 booster compilation sets. Now, according to the flavor text of this monster, it won't stop attacking until all life readings have been extinguished from its sensors. So, let's be honest here, what actually defines life readings in this case? Would an assault by this machine be hindered because it starts trying to kill off grass instead of its enemies, or because a fly drifted past it? Does it count plants and animals as life readings? Would it be able to sense people inside, say, tanks? It'd be easy prey for other machines too, so to be honest, it's a bit crap even before you factor in its somewhat iffy stats. Does have pretty cool artwork though. Alright, so you might have noticed something else during these battles. While the traffic jam twins out there were dealing with each other's keisters. Basically, time does not pass in these battlefields. So, we will not have enemies respawning. Because I believe they're meant to respawn after a set amount of time passes. A set number of hours pass in the game. Like, for example, the movement of the clock. As it stands, we're not going to get them coming back because of the fact we basically don't have time passing. We also don't get any new items in here, to the best of my knowledge. But we should be able to cut down this team pretty easily, in all fairness. As I've mentioned, Jinzo does not start out very good, and its AP tend to be pretty terrible. It's passable, but it's not very strong. Alright, so Giant Soldier of Stone can knock that one on the head. There we are. Shouldn't take us too long at all. There will be even more surprises to come with the way the final battle plays out. We're still keeping everyone with us. I will have to check on the items just in case. As far as I know, they're all the same, but it pays to look. Really wish Giant Soldier of Stone got more AP. It's been particularly sluggish in that regard. Alright, so the other one? What's the other one going to do? It's waiting. What it's waiting for, I don't know. It has presumably decided to wait for death. Because it, I don't know, it guarded and it didn't attack? Oh well, Cybernetic Dinosaur is in a lot of trouble. Can't do anything, and basically it's just going to get cut apart by some ridiculously good warrior monsters. And Giant Soldier of Stone is just sort of standing there as emotional support. I mean, you know you can count on this guy. He's going to be your rock in times of crisis. Haha. So there we are. Team Traffic Jam finally got its act together. What a schmozzle. So, Tristan's incredibly consistent team has triumphed and liberated Memory Bank A2. Let's get Team Yugi moving out this way. Man, they're expensive. Yeah, I think we only get Blue Medicine, Goblin Secret Remedy, and Monster Reborn here. So I'm not going to waste any more money. Alright, a similar team to earlier, but we've just got Giant Mech Soldier in place of Machine King. No healers and pretty meh power. So, just dish out as much damage as we can. I presume this counts as a castle anyway. Sadly, there's no distinct advantage against machine monsters. Maybe certain attacks, but that's about it. Darklands monsters have trouble because spirit monsters can target them. Spellcasters have trouble because Darklands monsters can target them. Some attacks do actually deal a bit more damage to spirit monsters, and some attacks become impossible to dodge. So we get a few perks on our attacks along the way, but not right now. We will start out with some pretty good monsters for upcoming battles. Bakura can get out of the way on this one once we're all finished. Alright, very nice. No, not very nice. I'll just use Horn Imp to take it down. It's twice that's happened this level. Once it gets to Horn Imp's turn. Always the way. So, all these weird and wonderful monsters we see, we will eventually get to use them. Some of them take a very long time for us to get our hands on. And it's a bit annoying in all fairness. Because some of them almost aren't worth the wait. Some of them will be pretty good, but there are ones that are just crap. Or at least not anywhere near as efficient as you might like to think. There we are. I can heal Horn Imp next time. Now this is assuming I don't wind up getting nailed with a critical. And it's... Has it gone for Ansatsu? Yes, it has. They really don't use their AP very well. Sometimes they will target your one monster a lot, and it's most annoying when they're incredibly strong, but when they're pretty weak, it's easy to work around. And there we are. We can just absolutely hammer it, and we'll be good to go. These enemies will, of course, get tougher as the game goes on. You do get to keep all your monsters and their equipment, but as the game goes on, the enemy will get a lot stronger too, which is pretty neat. It really lets you build up monsters very well. Interestingly, there is a huge gap. It takes a long time, I think, to go from level 59 to level 60. Then it gets a bit smoother. There we are, Bakura's team doing very well, kind of carried by the Illusory Gentleman, but Ansatsu holds on alright too. Suppose Horn Imp does as well. Joey, you're up. Better start putting in the Konami code. Alright, Rocket Warrior, one of Joey's signature monsters. Thankfully, we can dish out a bit of damage. I think the Rocket Warriors are slightly stronger. Yeah, they're stronger and they have more AP. So we start out by targeting them. If they have a special attack, we'll shut it down. I need to check if they do. They do. So, Rocket Boost attack will deal damage and cut the target's attack by 500 points. So I want to keep him confused. being able to use those shock shells to our advantage gets pretty broken in all fairness. But play your cards right, use your equip items right, and you've got this. Millennium Golem chooses to do nothing. It's just sort of there, isn't it? Big hulking hunk of rock that is alright, but not sure exactly how it turns out. I probably should try using it. Now, here's the thing I wonder about. Is it voltage or is it amperage? That's the bit you need to worry about when it comes to electricity. Because one of them's really, really bad. I think it's amperage. Like, if it's low amperage but high voltage, you might sort of not die. Oh, the confusion's worn off. We'll break that guard. And we'll keep that special attack locked down, thank you very much. It'll just drag things out a little bit. But yeah, while there is some way it's calculated, some way it all winds up working that you can take shocks but not be too badly hurt, don't mess around with electricity. The odds are you will probably get very badly hurt, very badly burned, and maybe very badly dead. Okay, Millennium Golem didn't wind up getting confused. There you go. But yeah, don't mess around with electricity. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. Oh, that's why I didn't get confused. The attack missed. There we are. Whoa, check out the lurid brickwork. Sort of greenish, this sort of, how would I put it? Probably a kind of aquamarine? But yeah, we'll gradually wear it down. I'm not gonna say it. There was a really bad pun that came to mind and I'm just not going to say it. Because it probably would have been really, really low-hanging fruit. So I've only got 2 adversaries left after this. Mai will deal with one of them, and Yugi will take on the boss. Nice shot. Right in the chest. That is victory for Team Joey. Pretty solid monsters. Memory Bridge is liberated, and we find Alpha the Magnet Warrior, whose profile probably should have appeared by now. Well, let's get moving. Elemental hero Sparkman made its debut in The Lost Millennium and has appeared many times since alongside his companions. Now, on paper, given that his stats are decent but not special, Sparkman doesn't really look like anything much. But, like the other 3 elemental heroes who debuted alongside him, notably Sparkman has the highest attack, versatility is easily the greatest strength Sparkman has. While a couple of cards support him specifically, the array of hero support, plus myriad fusion options and some normal monster support if you want to throw that in, makes Sparkman quite a useful ally for hero decks. You have many different options and some great combinations along the way. It just goes to show how much the game changed in the GX era as proper archetypes started to develop. Blast Juggler made its international debut in Metal Raiders, only reappearing in Dark Beginning 1. In Japan it debuted in Volume 5 and reappeared in Revival of Black Demon's Dragon. Known as Mr. Bomber in Japan, Blast Juggler is far from the most practical monster destruction card going around. First off, it actually has to survive to your next standby phase with those really terrible stats, or somehow be summoned in your opponent's end phase if you want to actually use it. Second, it only affects monsters with 1000 or less attack. The monster for which it served as fusion material couldn't even be summoned when Metal Raiders was released on account of the fact that two-headed King Rex wasn't released alongside Blast Juggler and Cybersaurus. This explosive is definitely a dud. Alright, it's Mai's turn, and I really don't like the AI's chances. Now, Cyber Commander does get the ability to power up all its allies. But it's up against us. So basically, usual procedure. Lock out the enemies that might risk doing something. And then just go to town. It's interesting to note that if an enemy has road adept, viewing them on the road will actually show their improved stats. Robotic Knight gets to recover fairly quickly because otherwise this would be pretty broken, and it does a bit of damage, but that's okay because Cyber Commander is probably not surviving this. And there we are. Look at that damage. One of them is actually alive. Oh, that's the one I didn't attack. Yeah, oh no, wait, I did attack them all. I'm impressed that one actually survived. But not a lot of trouble for Mai's team. As soon as I said it, 3 times in the one battle, heaven's sake. I mean, it's the principle of the thing, but still. There we are, a pretty easy run. Barely got to do anything. And Kereno just rockets up the levels. Mai is brilliant. I do not give her anything else, and I am unashamed of the fact that she is utterly game-breaking. Let's get Yugi to the base. Turbo Warrior made its international debut in Crossroads of Chaos, making a few further appearances in each edition of the game. Now, this is a pretty interesting card I've been wanting to talk about, because Turbo Warrior is one of the most hard-done-by cards in the entire franchise, going across pretty much all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything. Already a pretty solid synchro killer given it can knock out level 6 and higher synchros pretty easily in battle, it's Turbo Warrior's second effect where it really shines. Or at least, it should have had this opportunity. It's proof positive that card game animes are just advertising. All that crap about Axel synchro summoning and stuff like that didn't need to happen, because the writers conveniently forgot Turbo Warrior shrugs off the effect of level 6 or lower monsters, i.e. everything that all the Machine Emperor pieces were. In the anime there were bits and pieces which only went up to level 5. In the card game, they're the one unit but they're all level 1. Turbo Warrior is a built-in Machine Emperor killer. What a rip-off for poor Turbo Warrior. Give it some love. At long last, the final battle for the chapter is here. And we will be facing off against an enemy which can use polymerization. Suijin, Kazujin and Sangha of the Thunder do get decent HP, but we are about to tear through them. Lock them down with Raime. Unleash Dark Burning Magic. If you have Magician of Black Chaos, it can use this too. So we deal a lot of damage. It does take up 2 action points from everyone involved. But that's okay. because Kazejin is dead. So, if you don't have 2 AP, you won't get to use it. But that is okay, because I've got backup in the form of Raigeki, which I didn't equip. Crap. I knew there was something I was forgetting, but it's not like we need it. I mean, we've made mincemeat of this team. They haven't got to do anything. They'll probably get 1 attack, maybe? No, not even a token attack. Not even a charity attack. So yeah, that combination I wholeheartedly recommend. And there we go, more AP for Blackluster Soldier. 1 chapter away, the final battle awaits us.
Scott's over this way. Let's go, everybody.
So there we are, no extra money, because there's not really much to buy. Next time is the thrilling conclusion of Yugi's story. Thank you very much for joining me. Till next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.